Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to do some house cleaning here. First thing is, Mr. B told me that he thought maybe my sound had improved a little bit, and I wanted to just let you know that I did not do anything to try to improve my sound. If it happened, it was on accident, and so I apologize, because many people, part of what they love about my channel is that I provide really bad audio and really low tech. And so I just wanted everybody to know that I did not do that intentionally. The second thing you need to know is that I am eating a beef jerky while I do this broadcast, because I was having some heartburn. Just about any time that I get away from low carb for any period of time, I seem to get a little bit of heartburn. Makes me think that low carb is the way it was meant to be. But anyway, let's start with this. Now, I'm going to finish this video with all this Fed Faster Payments Task Force stuff. And there was a tweet by one of the people that works at Ripple that blew my socks and a lot of people's socks off. And I'll show you the tweet and show you why. But wait till you see this. This is from Michael at VAL5 Links. Coil, I'm not going to get deep into this. I just wanted to show you, because this is the kind of thing you're going to start to see with Coil. Coil is stepping up again with a new partnership just announced this morning. JS13K Games has partnered with Coil to announce a new game category called web monetization. Well, I can only imagine, because my kids play video games all the time, but if you can imagine streaming payments during video games, that could be a massive thing. So my kids are always coming in. This Fortnite game drives me crazy. They'll be like, I need to buy some dance or some this or some that, and it's always silly. I go in there and say, no, let's see what my $20 just got you, and I'll look, and it's some kind of ridiculous dance that doesn't even look very masculine for a boy to be buying. It's the weirdest thing. When I was growing up, you begged your mom or dad to take you to get you a Nintendo video game, and once you bought the game, that was that, and it was over. But not now. Now they've got it where you just keep spending money after you get the game. They may give you the game for free, and then you're just spending. Well, Coil would be a great way to integrate with the video game platforms for that reason. Give them a new option. Okay, next. Bank XRP. This is more from that Jeremy Allaire interview on CNBC this morning. I just wanted to make sure I covered these couple of quotes. He said China is mobilizing to launch a global digital currency. And then he says China is way out ahead on this. I think the U.S. is falling behind. I think China doesn't just control the mining of Bitcoin. I think they control Bitcoin. I think they own more of it, probably much of it secretly. Who knows? For all we know, Satoshi Nakamoto is the Chinese government. We don't know. Nobody knows. All the Bitcoiners seem to trust that it doesn't matter, but would that matter if somehow we found out Satoshi Nakamoto was the Chinese government? I think it would. Next, from XRP Big Time, AdX Big Time, sent me this. Peter Schiff was pitching a fit today. CNBC is trying its best to dupe its audience into buying Bitcoin. Despite gold being a much larger market, CNBC devotes far more airtime to Bitcoin. The Chinese aren't buying Bitcoin as a safe haven. Speculators are betting that the Chinese will buy it as a safe haven. And then you go down here, Crypto Bitlord, who has a lot of followers, says, nope, wrong, Peter. My friend Chan lives in China and he's buying it. And then these guys are like, my friend too. So Peter, I am shocked. I really am. I'm shocked that Peter Schiff does not know better than to just go down this hole, because he could so easily be a part of this whole digital asset wave that's coming, and it could help him in his gold business too. And he has chosen to just fight it every step of the way. And maybe he's trying to tweak the crypto community, but I really don't think so. I think he's a straightforward guy. And I think he really believes everything he's saying here. Okay, I need some more beef jerky. Sorry. All right, from XRP Crypto Wolf. Thailand's government will amend AML laws to regulate cryptocurrency. Thailand's regulator intends to start with changing the Anti-Money Laundering Act to include requirements for crypto exchanges to report their activities to the AML office. Looks like even Thailand is ahead of the United States. Okay, and now to the elephant in the room. Alex Cobb did a really good job on this this live stream today. He live streamed. This was the Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainard's speech on faster payments. Now, this guy had I bet he had almost 4,000 people watching this stream today. If you don't follow Alex Cobb, he's been doing this longer than any of us. He was one of the guys that inspired me to start my channel. Give him a subscribe. And Alex was streaming this. He does a lot of streaming, and he was streaming this. So I watched the whole thing on his channel, and then I kind of sat back the rest of the day because I wanted to see what kind of feedback was being had from this. So I collected a few things that we can go through here. The first was from Bank XRP. This was on CNBC. Can't remember what the guy's name is, but he's the guy that's more or less a socialist in my opinion. I can't stand this guy. I think he is like the ultimate tool for the central banks of the world. I think he does nothing. He's like a Fed lackey, I guess is the way you would say it. I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyway, a toady. You remember from the movie A Christmas Story, the toady was the little short kid that was the bully's little yes man and would do everything to do the bully's bidding for him. That's what I feel like this guy is. He's like one of these guys that went to a Yale or something, and then he came out, and now he does the bidding of all of the central banks and all the government officials and does what they want him to do. That's what I've always felt about this guy. But anyway, the Federal Reserve will launch a real-time payment system called FedNow that is expected to be available in 2023 or 2024. And then he's got some things in here that are like documentation. He's got a PDF that you can go check out that's from this. The FedNow service will process and settle individual payments, it'll be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And then he's got that there was a faster payments in general FAQ sheet. So you can go and check that out in his thread there. Definite follow, by the way, at Bank XRP. And then Stewart XRP had a couple of excerpts from the video. The FedNow service will run continuously. This is kind of what he said. Consistent needs of faster payments and will be designed to process large volumes of payments rapidly. We are proud of our strong record. Let me do an aside here before I keep going. The entire time I was watching this on Alex Cobb's channel, I guess I kind of knew that Ripple and XRP would never be mentioned by these guys. But at the same time, the entire time they were talking, I was sitting there saying, they're describing Ripple or Interledger Protocol. They're describing what Ripple does. And it's like, it's right there. They just can't say it. Won't say it, can't say it, whatever the reason, just like everybody else. We are proud of our strong record of cooperating and supporting private sector services while fostering competition for public benefit. We have provided vital support to the sole private sector provider of real-time settlement for faster payments, and we will continue to do so, whatever. The joint account structure with its requirement of pre-funding and settlement on a private ledger is fundamentally different from the approach the Federal Reserve will use to settle transactions directly by banks. Now, this is the next thing. Sean Schiff 10 sent me this. FedNow is different than app that send payments. FedNow will be in the plumbing of the payment settlements. Where have we heard about Ripple Solutions will be in the plumbings of the order stack of payment settlement? And he's got these diagrams. These are from that Ripple's put out before. where it shows these stacks that he's talking about. These were just a couple, and Bank XRP, I guess, had put these up. This Bank XRP is on fire all the time, people. If you follow one person in the Twitter community, in the XRP community on Twitter, that just really puts out good information, at Bank XRP, and he's an old school XRP community member. Okay, and then there was this. If you want to go check this out, you can go to @alltheway08. My thoughts on Fed announcement: not convinced it's Ripple, not convinced it's not. Need to read through Ripple's proposal. Apparently, this is a link to the proposal that Ripple, their proposal to the faster payments, the task force. Okay, so you can click here and you can go and read all through that. We're not going to do that right now, but you can go and look at it, and you can decide for yourself if it looks like Ripple they're talking about. Now, let's get to the most interesting part of this, folks. From Mr. B, who's been on fire lately too, at XRP Mister. He's a definite follow. He sent me this Cryptopolis tweet at Cryptopolis_X. Mr. Dilip Rao, this guy works at Ripple, tweeting about Fed Now. No more cooling of jets, because he tweeted, "Great move. Fed Now will drive the transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border. At Ripple, mission #Internet of Value." Well, folks, how many times? And here's the actual tweet. Okay, he tweeted out the Fed improvements, what they just announced. And let's read this, because I tell you on this channel over and over and over, after I get one more bite of my beef jerky, as I tell you on this channel over and over and over, words mean things, folks. Even if I'm chewing on a beef jerky, words mean things. I'm going to read what he says again, and I want you to just run through your mind. And I actually was talking to Mr. B the other day. I love to use the example of when you're dating a girl and she tells you that we need to talk. If you, guys out there, you young guys that are out there dating and all, if a woman ever tells you we need to talk, those words have a specific meaning. It means that it is over, okay? So, if you don't want it to be over, hide from her after she says those words for a while. Maybe she'll cool off and change her mind. But words mean things. Specific way that things are worded mean things. So when I see this, great move, okay? #FedNow will drive the transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border. Well, and you guys out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I listened to that whole faster payments thing. The one thing I did not hear them say, they may have, but I didn't hear them say cross-border. I did not hear them say that. Maybe they did. You guys can correct me. Okay, well, that's the first words that mean things in this to me. But then, after you say all of this, why would you include Ripple mission, Internet of Value? Would you, in this context, would you tell them this is a great move? And then what does Ripple have to do with it? Why would you add this part on? Ripple may be working on that type of thing, but why would you include Ripple in that? It's almost like it's a direct message that Ripple is involved in this. I mean, that's me talking, but that's me seeing words and saying this means something. You wouldn't just throw that out there because this guy's no dummy. This is the same guy, remember. And that's why these guys keep saying cool your jets. This is the same guy that directly addressed something when someone said something, and I'll show you the tweet because I went and found it. I think it was the tweet. But like XRP Crypto Wolf came and says, "Hey Dilip Rao, are you trying to tell the XRP community that Fed Now is working with Ripple and XRP to process real-time payments around the world and enable the Internet of Value, or should we cool our jets?" Now, maybe he'll tell us to continue to cool our jets, but I haven't seen it yet. This is where he first said it. Galgatron had said, "There are many rumors that you are describing," this is back in October, rumors that you are describing a Swift GPI integration with XRapid. Can you please clarify one way or the other? Idle speculation, cool your jets. Now, I think, here's the other question I have. He knows that he said cool your jets, and he knows the XRP community knows that, and he knows that these aren't a bunch of dumb people. There's a lot of savvy people that are listening to every word, the words that mean things. They're listening to every word he says. This guy would, I just don't believe he would say something like that the way he said it, unless he did not put, that was not in the category of something you need to cool your jets on. I think that this is him saying it. I could be wrong. He could correct us all and say, no, I didn't mean that by that. But as I said, words mean things, and the way he said that just seems weird. And this made me laugh. It was a reply to his tweet. This is kind of what I felt like when I read his tweet. I was like, wow. And so this guy is needing to hop on his Learjet for XRP to take off, I think. Or, no, he's talking about cooling his jets. But I thought this was funny when I saw it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And tell your friends and family that I do not want to cool my jets. I want this to be for real. Thank you for listening.